Hey everybody, I'm Riley.
And this is Todd, and welcome to this week's episode of Barber Cuts, where we are talking about Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. It is from 1976.
And it's long.
It is long. It is a originally two LP, one EP. Um, So what is that on Spotify? 21 songs and an hour and 45 minutes of listening pleasure.
Long.
So it took a couple of walks around the neighborhood for me to get this one in.
Yeah, that's one way of wording it.
So, all right. Let's jump on in there. So, least favorite too, Riley?
So one of them was Contusion. There's no lyrics
Hmm.
in that one, so I kind of counted it out. Uh, just because that's how it is. Also, with there being so many songs, so many of them like blend together in my head.
Yeah.
But Contusion was one that I kind of counted out just because it's no lyrics, kind of unfair when it's stacked up against everything else. My other least favorites were Another Star and Have a Talk with God. Um, there were some songs on this album, and those two were were particular ones that I remember that just go so hard on the disco. They really just hammer
Mm.
the disco side of things in. I don't know if Another Star does it particularly. I know that like in Have a Talk with God, I think it has like a weird like sound, sound in it that's like springs going off and it sounds really goofy.
Yeah. It
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I didn't really think Have a Talk with God was disco. If I'm being fair, I didn't really get a lot of disco vibes from any of these songs.
Okay,
I
disco may not be the word, 70s may be the word.
Yeah, I mean I got a heavy funk.
Okay.
Um
70s may be a better word,
yeah,
and I just equate 70s with disco.
yeah.
Do you know the sound that I'm talking about though? It sounds like a little like corkscrew sound.
Um no, I guess I'd have to hear it
Okay.
to know what you're talking about. But
It's okay.
but
I
yeah,
really
and
hope it's in that song
yeah, it
with
could
Amy
be.
in it.
I know that Another Star is more Latin. It sounds heavy like salsa.
Yes. Yeah.
So
No, disco's the wrong word. I know that. It's just 70s. It's very 70s.
it
And
is.
these two songs, it became two 70s
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
it's it's way more funk,
Yeah.
soul, R&B than I would
Yeah.
say disco.
No, you're right.
Of course I am.
Yeah. No, Have a Talk with God does have like the weird like
Yeah,
like at the very beginning, like the opening, it just makes it like
yeah,
completely takes me out of the album because it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
goofy sounding
Okay.
to me.
Um, yeah, so my least favorites, so one of them was the um I don't know. There's it's two-thirds of it's a foreign language.
Yeah,
So I didn't understand most of it. So I'm pulling my American card and saying I don't get it. No,
you're
I think
you're
it's
pulling.
yeah. No, it but it is. It's so as I'm listening to it, it's Spanish, English, and then I think it's an African language and I can't remember what it was. And then the other one was Easygoing Evening, My Mama's Call, which is the last one that you get to on Spotify. And again, it's a instrumental, so there's two instrumentals on this one. Um, and maybe it's a little bit unfair because this would have been originally, as you're listening to this, the last song on the extra EP and not the actual last song of the album itself.
Yeah.
And so it's just weird. But this is the last, or this is the song that ends the listening experience, as I will call it, on Spotify. So as an ending song, it was a little bit disappointing. The actual last song on the album itself. Is another star, which, as I just said, it's got the strong Latin beat, like a salsa dance off kind of thing. So, um, but those are my two least favorites. What about favorites, right?
For favorites, I'm not branching out here. Um, Pastime Paradise is one of them.
Okay.
Let me tell you my surprise. I had no clue. I had no clue.
You have no clue on what? That's not a name
Pastime
of a
Par
song.
Pastime Paradise?
Yeah. Oh, you got no idea why it's your favorite?
No, I had no clue that they got Gangsta's Paradise from my boy Stevie Wonder.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I had no clue, which therefore also means that an Amish Paradise
Amish
is also.
Paradise. Yeah. Yeah.
I had no idea. So
So,
imagine my surprise
yeah, as it starts playing.
when it started playing.
Yeah, and you throw in Gangsta's Paradise, and it's like, oh wait, this isn't right.
Yeah. So, but I also liked the song. I like the beat.
Yeah,
And so it was fun. And then, come on, how can you not say that "Isn't She Lovely" is one of your favorite songs? How can you not?
how can
And
I not?
you're gonna say that you didn't, and that's wrong.
It
And
is not.
yeah, and that's wrong.
It
Um,
was a song from Stevie Wonder to his daughter, not from Todd to his daughter.
that doesn't matter. That
No,
doesn't
I think
matter.
it does. I think it does.
No, it really doesn't. It's just such a great song. It makes you feel good.
It is
It
good.
feels personable because it has like the daughter's cries and their conversations in it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you can feel the love in that song.
yeah,
Like it's just such a warm and cozy song and one that like you can just sing along to. It's not like a hard melody or anything, and it's a pretty simple song, so it's
right.
just easy to join in on. I mean,
Yeah,
it just you can just feel the love.
yeah.
It's so sweet.
I agree.
Okay.
Um, so my second favorite, I listed like several songs as I was trying to cut it down to just two. Um, and I listed I Wish as Ebony Eyes. I really like Isn't She Lovely was one of them. And Pastime Paradise. And I agreed with you. I went with Pastime Paradise. It's just got hypnotic beat. The strings, and I'm calling them strings in quotes, for our audio listeners. Um, it's, I guess, for many of these songs, it sounds like strings. There are no strings. Those are all his synthesizer keyboard shifted to make it sound like string sections, which again is fantastic from the musical side of what he was able to do. And again, now it's everywhere, but in the 1970 or 76, this was pretty new. And for me, just like you said, doesn't hurt that Gangsta's Paradise from the mid 90s. So like, yep, that was right in my uh ironically grunge and hip hop loving days. So listen to that song quite a bit. Also Amish Paradise, which was more of a cover of Coolio's version, and the lyrics are really good too. Just not living in pastime in your pastime paradise, but trying to do better and make things more better. So, and then my favorite though was Sir Duke. Like that's such a good song. Um, and I'll be honest with you, I I had no idea the name of that song was Sir Duke. And like I did know I did know that Gangsta's Paradise was from Stevie Wonder. Um, but Sir Duke, I did not know that that was the name of the song. And so when it started going, I was like, oh, I like this song. What's it called? Like Sir Duke, like what? Because I was just the you can feel it all over that repeats. I just thought that
Yeah.
was something to deal with the name of the song. So when I saw Sir Duke, I was like, "Oh, what?" But again, that and I Wish, which comes right after it, those were the two first singles from the album. Both of them reached number one. This one actually also reached number two over in the UK. And the part that I didn't realize because I never paid attention to the lyrics until now. I do, at least on my favorites, I do try to look into the lyrics. Was written as a tribute to Duke Ellington, hence the name. And it's also got some other artists inside of it that were influential to Stevie Wonder, and just a tribute to them, but also a tribute to music, and so just the opening two lines, music is a world within itself with a language we all understand. So a lot of what, we started talking about music around a love for just how we can see it differently, but yet we both love music and will listen to different types of music. So for me, it was hard not to really like that song. I was tempted to say what our favorites from as far as Spotify goes, like favorites from disc one and favorites from disc two, because I couldn't had a lot to narrow it down.
Yeah, I know.
So
It was more songs than I thought it was. I tried to have one from each.
yes, I did not, but
I tried.
I made up for it in other ways, and we'll talk about that in other ways. So, um, done with that. Why should people listen to an hour and 40 minutes worth of Stevie Wonder?
One, I would say you'll realize how much of the music you know comes from Stevie Wonder without trying to. Because oh boy, is it a lot. Like
Yeah,
everybody uses his like sound bites, like his beats and stuff, like
yeah,
small ones even. I'd be
yeah,
like, I know this. I don't
yeah. It's like
listen to Stevie Wonder.
where do I know this from? Where do I know this from?
Like it's so many of them.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So much of his
And
stuff gets sampled and interpolated
yes,
like somehow, or just covered, like
yes,
just a cover that somebody does it in their own genre. And you're like, you know we go back to I guess we talked about it last week. Johnny Hurt is what was in my
don't.
mind. Johnny Cash with Hurt, and how it sounds so different than the Nine Inch Nails version,
Yep,
that it you go into it like that's not the same song, but of
I know.
course it is.
So, I mean, that alone is a
Yeah,
reason to go listen. It's just like the impact that he's had on music.
yeah. and
Also,
and and you mentioned that just to say some of the people like Elton John and Prince,
mhm,
who Prince, we got an episode of Purple Rain actually a few episodes back. Both of them said that this particular album was their favorite album. Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston have talked about how great this album is. And then we've already talked about Coolio, but Will Smith, Mary J. Blige, Luther Vandross, some of the bigger names, have either sampled or covered songs from just this album. And there were others that were in there as well that I found that I just listed some of the bigger names, but you mentioning names, so there's quite a few names that most people would probably at least recognize.
Yeah, and I mean also, uh, and I want to mention this because this is like neither of us, you and I, will be able to understand like the real impact that Stevie Wonder had on like music and culture and all of
Yeah,
that because we're not a part of that culture. But like I can still appreciate it from afar.
yeah,
Like he, I don't know, all of his songs are just deeply analyzing the world in different ways, like
yeah,
each and every one of his songs. And a lot of the times it's from within like his own culture and his identity and like village ghetto land and all of these things.
yeah,
And it's a two part of like village ghetto land was a great example of this, I think, where it was honoring the culture. And you see that with Black Man too, where
mhm,
they're listing out all of the different things. And he doesn't specifically focus on one culture. He mentions multiple ones. He
yeah,
even says, I think white man is in there at one point, and
yeah,
white woman, and all of that. Like
yeah. So is
focuses
what
completely,
Yellow Man,
yep,
Brown, like
like
there's all
all the
kinds of
range.
basically
But
saying
then
we're all doing it.
yeah, and then Village Ghettoland was not like a idolization of like where he's come from.
Yeah,
Either like there's critiques to it, there's but like not forgetting it and the pastime paradise of like don't stay back there and like
yeah,
all of these things, like very introspective and thoughtful lyrics and ideas behind his songs. And to have almost 2 hours straight of that,
yeah,
plus more, 2 hours straight on one album
yeah,
is crazy impressive to have that much to say and that much to say that's like worth saying.
yeah.
Like
I
it's
agree.
not just filler. Like
Right.
there's a point to each song. I worded it when I was thinking about it, I worded it in my head. Is each song feels like an ending song, like an end of the album. Like each song feels like he's ending a concert. And so it's all of the drums and or
Yeah,
like big beats and guitars or whatever and synthesizers, like all of it's going out and each song feels like, oh, this could end the concert.
yeah,
This song could end the concert. Like
yeah,
they're all so big and
yeah.
have so much to say.
But yet rolls right into the next song.
It somehow
And
gets
you're like,
bigger.
what? What?
Um,
Yeah,
so and I mean like the impact that he's had just like by the names you've listed on
yeah,
like black artists and all of that. Like, I mean, like I said, I don't know if we'll ever be able to fully feel the impact. We
yeah.
can feel parts of it, but we can
True.
recognize that for sure.
And I mean, you saying that you don't like Michael Jackson talked about how great it was. I mean, Thriller, just because it came out when I was young, like that was one of the first albums I ever bought.
Yeah.
And d directly influenced by this particular album. Is neat. Some other stats about it. It was released in September of 76 and it entered the charts at number one. And at that time, it was only the third album to do that and
Hmm.
the first by an American artist. The other two albums were both Elton John albums. And it entered in September 76 and stayed there until January of 77 when it was knocked off by playing 6 Degrees of Barbara Cutts episodes here. Hotel California by the Eagles is what actually knocked it off of its number one. And so that was interesting. It won at the Grammys Album of the Year in I believe 74, 76. And I think I read where Stevie Wonder was the only artist to do this. He released an album in 73, 74, and 76, and all three of those won Grammy Album of the Year. I think he's the
Okay.
only artist to ever have three consecutive releases win three consecutive albums of the year. And he didn't put out an album in 75. And I think it was maybe Paul Simon that won that year, but I can't remember who won, but whoever it was in their acceptance speech thanked Stevie Wonder for not releasing an album. I was like, that's pretty funny. And then, we also talk about the Rolling Stones top 500 albums. Um, this one, or we occasionally mention it, especially when they get real high. This one is number four, and
Yeah.
it is one spot ahead. Again, 6 degrees of Barber Cuts episodes, one spot ahead of Abbey Road, which is in the five spot. And
There's just
three behind the number one spot, if my math is correct, which is Marvin Gaye, that we've also done an episode of. So,
he just has so much to say.
yeah,
And like that's just I think this album alone is like what a lot of people nowadays would dream their career lineup being.
yeah,
Like it's just incredible. He
yeah,
just
and I think I saw somewhere even speaking of careers, like you know, Kanye West at one time even said, like, I'm not comparing myself to anybody currently. I'm comparing myself to songs in the key of life. Like that
yeah.
is the epitome of what I'm trying to get to. And again, all these artists that we talk about, say what you say, you may or may not like them. That's irrelevant. They're big names. They've done a lot. And so to for those types of artists that have accomplished so much to say, I'm just trying to be as good as this album or this
Hmm.
particular artist, that's crazy. Um, Stevie Wonder's self has done quite a lot, and this is considered his best album. So if you want to do a Stevie Wonder dive, this is where to start. And one of the things I guess before we go off really into best beats is, you know, the one of the things that I thought was neat about it, and you can hop in here with some of these because and I'm gonna talk about very high level, but the first six songs, and two of those were your least favorites. But song one, Love's in Need of Love Today. Great first song as an introduction. First of the lyrics, here's your friendly announcer. And so basically he writes a song about what the rest of the album is about.
Hmm.
Um, and so you also actually see that in, going back to Abbey Road, we mentioned in there Sergeant Pepper, and they actually do that. The intro song of Sergeant Pepper is really an introduction to the album, but it's got a good soul, good R&B vibe to that song. Then it switches second song, Have a Talk with God, way more funk than that first album. And it's a hard transition just because it flows right into it, gives what do you call it? Corkscrew sound. You know, but then goes to Village Ghetto Land, which is another. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I see.
It
Interrupt me.
sounds it sounds like the corkscrew that I'm talking about, and the real ones will know. It sounds like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, how they have like the weird little like Mouseketeer noises, and Goofy's doing like his little dance. Like I feel like I could do that dance to that song in not a great way. You know what I'm saying? Do you know the
Yeah,
dance that I'm talking about?
yeah, 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 yeah. I do.
Yeah, you could do
From
that dance.
what was that Saturday morning cartoons with y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, The
That's what it is.
so so
Sorry,
so so
continue.
so song three was Village Village Ghetto Land, which you've also talked about. Again, another complete switch in sound. Um, this one, and I'd be interested to see what you thought of it. Every time I listened to it, I thought of a wedding processional, like very formal, like
It is
beautiful
very,
type of
yeah.
music. Again, the strings that aren't really strings, they're his synthesizer. Um, but yet comparing that beautiful type of formal, royal, regal type of sound, and then go look at the lyrics. Like
Yeah.
talking about a big juxtaposition. Those lyrics don't match the sound, and which is again always neat to see that. Four songs, Contusion. You mentioned it's instrumental, but it's way more on the jazzy side than any of the others, and a way faster tempo than coming off of Village Ghetto Land. And then you hit songs four and five, yeah, Sir Duke and I Wish, which are like really, I think on here, his two most streamed songs. Nope, Isn't She Lovely is more than I Wish, but these are two of it, two of the top three, and yeah, like they're just pop happy, but still soulful, made for the radio almost type of songs. Um, and so in those first six songs, and again, like knocks me off my feet is a slow build, and then you hit Pastime Paradise, like you could just keep going with the songs. The music is just like changing so much, but yet um still this underlying like soulful vibe to all of them, which is really, really well done from the music side of things. And I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, like lyrically, I think there's a lot of some of the same things that are going on throughout the album as well.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, he's Stevie Wonder is a social and political or was activist. Did a lot of stuff within that vein. He was not he did not have his opinions and then not act on them. He very much acted on his opinions as well.
Yeah,
And the stuff in the songs like worked against the apartheid set, worked to get Martin Luther King Jr.
yeah,
holiday, like all
yeah,
of these
yeah,
things. Very much a social and political activist, which goes along with a lot of the stuff that you hear in his lyrics. Um, but I think he's just a really great example of how cool music can be and
yeah,
art can be. Because he approaches like I don't want to say like taboo, but quote unquote taboo topics, like topics that aren't pleasant to hear or talk about or listen to. Like read the lyrics to Village Ghettoland and tell me you want to listen to a song that's talking about babies dying and families eating dog food and all of these things. Like, and
yeah,
you have your happy songs. You have Isn't She Lovely? You have like these more upbeat songs. The Black Man, where it's kind of praising different cultures and all of this. Like, you have all of that. But in the same vein, you're talking about these kind of hard topics in a way that makes it digestible and makes people comfortable enough to approach the topic from a new perspective. And that's
yeah,
beautiful. And that's what
yeah,
art is. And not to sound hokey, but I mean, that is what art is supposed
right,
to do, is that's what it's there for. And I
yeah,
think he is a key example of using that and
right,
doing that for good. And one of the first examples that I've seen in music with us covering some older albums than this even. He's one of the first to really kind of have a lot to say. Him and Marvin Gaye
yeah,
are some of the first to really
yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the fact that he's putting lyrics, and again, we go back to Village Ghetto Land, putting um very hard to digest lyrics. I mean, like you mentioned some of them, but then putting it to this regal-esque music, and then mixing it in with, following it with and again, you didn't like it, but it's a jazzy instrumental that's very upbeat right after this song. And then a pop song with Sir Duke where he's not doing anything really social or political.
Hmm.
It's just an homage to people in music that have influenced him and how much he loves them. And so you get all these, he was Sir Duke. I'll call it a quote surfacey song. Um, but yet just because it doesn't have, say, the um, political social impact that a Village Ghetto Land or Black Man does, but yet the combination of having those two so close together goes back to what you were just saying. It makes it so palatable to hear, and and okay, let let me try to understand. Like I
Hmm.
know I can't because I can't put myself in somebody else's shoes. Um, but let me at least try. And song and hearing those lyrics is, like you said, a great way for people to try and figure that out and hear it. Um, so let's move on to best beat
Yeah.
and par.
Oh,
Sorry, you took
you
off.
coughed.
So here we go. Um, best bar. You want to
I
go?
mean, any lyric from Isn't She Lovely? What a sweet song. It'll get you. I mean, reading from some of them, like it's pure joy. You can feel the love. Isn't she pretty? Truly the angel's best. Boy, I'm so happy we've been heaven blessed. I can't believe what God has done. Like that's just that's just so sweet. And then to mention like could not have been done without you who conceived the one. Like mention all of that. Isn't she precious? Less than a minute old. I never thought through love we'd be making one as lovely as she. Oh, it's just a sweet song. It's just such a good song.
Yeah,
It's just, makes me happy.
it is. And the music or the splashing and baby voice at the
Yup.
beginning is like his daughter in the tub. Like he
Yeah.
recorded it and then used it as part of the intro and getting into it. So
Yeah, well, there's yeah, baby crying at the beginning and then
yeah,
laughing,
yeah,
and then later on in the lyrics you hear I presume his wife or partner talking and baby babbles and them
yeah,
laughing and being like, I think she just said this and all of this stuff. Like it's truly it feels like a home video, warm and cozy,
right.
just lovely.
Yeah. Ha ha
Lovely.
ha ha. I see what you did
And
there.
then to completely
And
juxtapose
and
that,
but
oh
before you go into that, a home like legit home video that all of us have done. Like we've got home videos that you've watched and different things. But then you just happen to come in and be one of the greatest musicians ever, and you put a song and lyrics around it. Like that's so cool.
that is so cool.
We
You wrote a
go,
poem.
well, I did, but like I didn't put any music to it, like,
No.
but and so we go into it. I'll come back to our Yoko bashing from last week, right? Like
Yeah.
this is an awesome song. Like
This is a
I see
tribute
what
song.
Stevie Wonder is there, and he gave me a tribute song, and it's Isn't She Lovely? John Lennon gives me a tribute love song, and it's Hey Yoko, which again we talked about. In her eyes,
Oh,
she loved it, but like
Yoko.
I don't know. I guess
But
if
I
your
mean,
name's not Yoko, you wouldn't have liked it.
there there's no
So
wonder that I keep hitting these puns. There's no wonder that I mean people dance to that with their father-daughter dance. Like and
yeah,
there's like it's clear why. Like it's such
right,
a sweet
right.
as someone who
It's a
can't
love
understand.
song from a dad to a daughter, like,
Yeah.
you know,
You don't get many of those, and so when you do,
yeah,
it's special and it's sweet. You have that and Cinderella, and those are your two choices for father-daughter dances. You know, that's what you got,
yeah,
okay? And that's great. But it's just always great to hear one of those songs.
yeah.
Um, and then to juxtapose it, Village Ghetto Land also has some great lyrics, albeit really tough ones. But I think he ended it with just like the perfect little bit that sums up the song is now some folks say that we should be glad for what we have. Tell me, would you be happy in Village Ghetto Land? And I mean, before this, he just has all of these things that are bad, like babies dying, eating dog foods, being poor, suffering and grief, and all of this stuff. And like that's such a true thing. It's like when you're going through all of that, and someone's like, "Well, be grateful for what you have." It's like, no, because you're not going through
Yeah.
it. You can't
Yeah.
tell me to be grateful for what I have.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a great call out of some um hypocriticism or
Hippopotamus.
hypocrisy.
There we go.
Some hypocrisy, and a good like call out that's not harsh or anything mean, but just like a to
Right.
end that song with that, I think is very smart and very well done.
Yeah, that is well done. Um, for me on the best beat side of things, no, it is actually not the beginning of Sir Duke, although that was definitely in the running. Like
And it
for
wasn't meow, meow, meow,
no.
meow, meow.
Um that's we'll wait and do that one on the Coolio or Weird Owl
Oh, there we
album.
go.
Um, but as you mentioned, like you just rattled off two from the music side with what Stevie
Oh,
Wonder was doing, like there's a lot to choose from here.
yeah, there is.
And so like I was going through like what do I want to do? What keeps coming back to me? What made me think twice? What made me as you alluded to a couple episodes ago, what causes the angry face as you're listening to it? Like, ooh, yeah. Um and I'm gonna go with something different because I did keep going back to it. And so if I can be different on it, I like that. But it's from the song As, and I probably wouldn't know what I was talking about, but it's the part where he switches his voice. So, um, do you remember this section where it's this deep voice that starts singing? And she's laughing at me. Did you think a new person started singing?
I did. Well, because he did
So
have other
I
singers on this album, so I
I
never knew.
right, I did too. And this was one of the neat things about listening to this album, especially if you go and look at all the credits, like the credits of musicians and singer like people that had like it is super long. But
Yeah.
most of it was done by Stevie Wonder. And
Mhm.
like that's the part that made me start to go back and look at it. So right about 3 minutes and 45 seconds comes right out of a solo, and he hits this deep voice that is gritty and raspy and not near like it's the only part in the album he switches to it. I saw a couple places refer to it, and this is funny, but it made so much sense as his Fozzie the Bear voice. Um, and I think I saw where he only used it one or two other times in all of his, catalog. But normally he's got a very silky, smooth voice. And this is anything but that. Again, yeah, I thought it was a different person. I'm like, who sings the deep voice, going to Google on As by Stevie Wonder. I'm like, it is Stevie Wonder. It's like, no, I messed up my Google search somehow because like that's not Stevie Wonder. Um, and so I was like, all right, this is my best beat, and it's in the way that Wonder uses his voice as an instrument in this case. So it's a shift away from what he's normally doing. Um, I wasn't really paying attention to the lyrics at the time, but it's just that shift from the silky smooth to this raspy, hard, angry voice that, angry in quotes, um, that was my best beat.
Nice.
So there we go. Um, so ratings, Riley, what's your rating?
Um, well, oh, come on. Objective rating's gotta be a 10, huh? I mean, it's gotta be. We just talked about all of these artists using this as like the epitome of music. Like, you
Yeah,
can't
I
say
agree.
all of that and not give it a 10.
Mine's
You
mine's a
can't,
mine's a 10 as well.
you can't, who are we
Right.
kidding?
It's
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 gotta be a
hard.
10.
Like you get all the people that, and you may not like some of the albums in that Rolling Stone top 500, but like you get all the people and experts and everything that have said like, hey, yeah, these are probably some of the best of all time. Like, who are you and I to come by and go, yeah, I'm gonna give that one a 9. No, that's a
Yeah,
that's a 10.
it's a 10.
Yeah.
Now, personally,
Yeah.
it's like a 5, 5.5. It's
Which
not my
one?
type
Which
of
one?
music. I'm gonna go 5.5. I'll give it. Isn't She Lovely is good enough for a 5.5?
It's good enough for that extra half point.
Yeah,
So,
it's not my type of music. It the lyrics are listening
mhm,
to it. Sometimes it's not. Um, I'm just not a big like pop funk girl, and
yeah.
that's what he is. So the songs that were a little different, I enjoyed. Some of the pop songs I enjoyed. Don't get me wrong, it's an incredible album. It's just not my incredible album.
Yeah. So, um, that is that is funny to me. Do you know what you rated Marvin Gaye, which is very close.
Super high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're very
But that's
similar genres,
and you know what?
but
It's because I didn't have to listen to 2 hours straight of Marvin Gaye.
yeah, okay. I can give you that.
So
I can give you that.
Marvin Gaye,
I mean,
give me half.
they're slightly they are slightly different. They're very close in their genres, but not
Yeah, let me
exactly.
tell you,
So
give me half of the. I probably liked half of the songs on the album. Give me
yeah,
just half of them, and it gets so much higher
yeah.
because it's not so
No, makes
so
sense.
so much.
Makes sense.
Um. So, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I already said my objective was a 10. And I am going the opposite direction of you from Marvin Gaye. I like this one more. My personal
Ah,
rating is an 8.
there you go. We
Um,
switched.
yeah,
You're a wonder.
so
Oh, I'm not gonna say that. Sorry, guys.
um so it is it's like I really liked it. Yeah, there's again some, and it's not my normal genre.
No,
But
this is surprising to me, honestly.
is
I'll
it?
say it. I'll
Yeah.
say it. You telling me that Sir Duke was your favorite partly because of the it's like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Who are you?
It's just there's certain times that even though neither you nor I are big pop music fans. Now that doesn't mean that there's not pop songs that we like.
Like,
Not
Where My Phone At by
yeah.
Lizzo. It's become a
Um
favorite here at the
I
park.
yeah, it's become the Barbara anthem. Thanks, Charles. I which I need to figure out a way to make that like the song, like when you lose your phone and you hit your watch instead of the ding, have the phone reply like start singing that song back to me. That would be
Where my
awesome.
phone at? That would be awesome.
Okay. Uh, Brief tangent there. But in of course, there's pop songs that we like. Like I've said, I'm not a fan of the 80s. There are things from the 80s that I like, but overall, but yeah, this was just one that I don't know what it was. It just resonated with me.
Just got you going.
Yeah. And so I really really like this song. There's, like, as I mentioned in some of the ones that I liked songs from both sides, both LPs, and the EP. So I was not, it did take a bit to listen to, hour and 45 minutes, but it was enjoyable for me. So,
I feel like this album would go great with deep cleaning. Does that make sense to you?
yeah, I could
Because
see that.
it's hard to be upset listening to this album.
True, true. I'll give you that.
Yep.
All right. So, song of the week,
My song of the week is Dug Out by the Backseat Lovers.
Backstreet
Um,
Boys,
all right. No,
Backstreet Boys.
no, Backseat Lovers. Good song. He has the lead singer has like this um like wailing voice at some part. It's just really nice when he's saying like wait inside and all of that. Um, and it's just a good song. It's a lot of their songs aren't slow, but they aren't fast, and this one's a little bit slower. And you can just kind of feel the emotion in this song. Just good song to listen to, and they're really good live. I like them a lot.
Very good. Um, my song of the week is an oldie, even older than Stevie Wonder. So 1969
Hmm.
by Zeppelin. So
Oh,
off their second album, Bring It On Home. So it's the last song on the album. It's the one that starts off, it's a bluesy, starts off with a muted guitar, muted harmonica, muffled voice. Um, they said it was an homage to the original recording in '63 from Sonny Boy Williamson II. Um, there are other people that have said it's not necessarily an homage, but straight up theft of a song. It's somewhere in between those two, or both. And what I like about it is it's got that muted side of it, and then about 145 into the song, it switches to what the loud guitar driving rock that mainly Zeppelin for. But then ends the song by going back to the subtle harmonica muffled sound. So um, Bring It On Home by Zeppelin,
very nice.
my
Time
song
for
of the week.
next album.
Time for next album. It is. Boop, 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 doo.
The next album is The Stone Roses by The Stone
Stone Roses.
Roses.
Yeah.
Woo!
It's it's
I don't know this
back.
band name.
Oh, do you not?
Nope. I know
They're
the Rolling Stones and the Stone Temple Pilots, and the Stone Roses are not in my top three
yeah,
Stone band names.
the Stone Roses are over in Manchester, I believe.
Shout out,
I've
man, you.
Yeah, I first picked up on them because of Manchester United. So um
Glory, glory, man, united.
yeah, so
Glory, glory,
that's
man, united.
for whatever reason,
United.
doing something and saw them and or saw that band name and so yep,
Woo!
so there we go.
Well,
Fantastic.
yeah, until then,
Yeah.
follow
And
us on all our
so
stuff.
just follow us on all our stuff, Instagrams. Spotify, may leave a comment.
Facebook,
Facebook, we got some.
Twitter.
Yeah, X,
We don't even know what we got at
YouTube.
this point.
Yeah, Barber Cuts Pod is who we are. We're also barbercutspod at Gmail. That elicited a cough. Barbercutspod at gmail.com. And then also a programming note. As y'all know, um, we will, after this one comes out, we will not release over Thanksgiving.
I'll be
Um,
home.
yeah,
We'll
we'll
be
be
spending
home.
in-person fun time instead of on the screen fun time.
Yeah.
Also, respectfully, I think Mama Pod and Brother Pod would roll their eyes drastically if we told them we had to leave family time
Yeah, I think
to
they'd
go.
I think they would understand.
I think they'd understand, but we'll spend time as a family
You
the
know,
weeks that we get
duty
to.
calls. The real reason is because this podcast is done over a distance. We don't have a microphone at home that would actually work. That's
So
really all.
the yeah, I think it would be funny. It would be arguably funny if the 1 week of like I don't get to come home that much anymore. The 1 week that I am home, an hour and a half of that time has to be spent in a
Yeah,
separate room from you so that I
yeah.
can spend time with you.
So
So I hope everyone
it
understands
would
that
be
as
family podcast time, and it
funny
would
as that
be the
is,
two that don't enjoy it when we talk music. Joining us as we talk music, which
yep,
would probably not be listening fun for people. You know, but
yep.
anyway,
So we'll
so
catch you back
yeah,
after.
yeah,
Sweet.
we'll catch you back. Next episode will be December 5th. Will
Yeah.
be the next one. So until then, I am Todd.
And I'm Riley, and this has been another episode of Barbara Cat.